everybody. My name is Samantha Haberlach, and I'm a real estate agent, and I'm super passionate about connecting Nova. I'm actually here today with Julie Yocum, and Julie and I have known each other since Korea, since our last assignment. We met in 2015, so wonderful history with my friend here. And you know, we went to lunch recently, Julie. And when we went to lunch, you were saying some things that I was like, you know what? I really want you to share that. Tell everybody a little bit about you. What's your history, where you came from, and why you picked Apple Federal Credit Union.
I've been a mortgage loan officer for almost 20 years. I came to the greater Nova region and didn't know a soul until you guys got here and had no real place to start and stumbled across Apple Federal Credit Union. And it was just that our goals and our vision and our passions aligned. Apple's motto is improving lives and fulfilling dreams. And that is the exact description of what I do and what I'm passionate about.
Absolutely. Those simple words that you just said, it means so much, and it should match every company that helps people and families. That's what it should be about, paying it forward. How can you help others? How can you improve their lives and get them to their dreams?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me a little bit about Apple Federal Credit Union, and what is it that they are doing that's different than other companies out there?
One of the things that Apple is doing is we're able to really help, especially first-time home buyers, especially in this market where we have very high prices on homes to begin with, is offering products that are able to help buyers who maybe don't have a lot of cash on hand. You know, there's this myth out there sometimes that people think I have to have a 20% down payment.
So, okay, you don't need to have 20%, 10%, maybe even 5%. Like, how low can you go here? How much time? What do they need?
You can buy a house with no down payment here at Apple.
Wow. Home ownership is the basis for wealth building. It's the easiest way to build your wealth is to own a home. Instead of giving that money to a landowner, someone else, and helping them build their wealth, person needs to build their own wealth.
Absolutely.
Through home ownership. The rates are high right now. And if the rates drop, how is Apple different when the rates drop?
So back to that loan program I was just telling you about, that's really directed for first-time home buyers, but we've opened it up for a number of people can qualify for it. In that loan program, we're able to do what's called a rate modification. What that means is in the future, when the interest rates are a little bit lower, you could have an opportunity to do a rate modification on the mortgage that you have rather than having to do a full refinance, which could incur a significant amount of closing costs.
Huge amount of closing costs. So, and we're talking about maybe that could be done at a 1% of the loan as opposed to, so if you say $600,000 home loan, and then a 1% on that is $6,000. So a rate reduction for $6,000 as opposed to a full refinance, which could be over $10,000.
Yeah, on $600,000, $15,000 in closing costs is not unreasonable.
So when she told me this one, I was like, what? Blows my mind. Fantastic. A bank or a federal credit union can choose how they interact with people. But another thing that you talked about was you don't sell the loans. This is important.
This is huge. And first-time home buyers may not be able to fully grasp this concept. You and I can, because we've done this before, right? So this is a common practice in mortgage banking, right? You take out a mortgage from, let's say, ABC Bank, and you move into your home, and life is great, and you start making your mortgage payments, and somewhere in the future, you get a letter that ABC Bank has now sold your mortgage to XYZ Bank, and now you're going to make your mortgage payment to XYZ Bank. It is probably one of the most frustrating things as a homeowner.
I did not pick that bank. I did not pick that bank. I picked this bank. And now you don't have that bank anymore.
And you have no connections. I don't know who to call. So Apple retains the servicing of our mortgages for life. What that means is you will always make your mortgage payment to Apple. Let's say it's 5 years from now. Who am I going to call about my mortgage? You still contact me or one of the other mortgage loan officers here at Apple. We're still your main point of contact with the same area code, living in the same zip codes that you do.
All right. So my next question is something that I get, and I'm not even in the mortgage business. I'm in the real estate business. I help people find the house.
Right.
I get this every day. how are the rates? What's going on with the rates? And what do you expect to happen in the coming months or in this coming year in 2023?
Oh, okay, Sam. For 20 years, I've been looking for that crystal ball that tells me what's going to happen in the rates. I'm here to tell you there's no crystal ball. So there's a huge misnomer. I do want to bring this up really quickly. When the Federal Reserve is changing the rate, they're changing what's called the prime rate, and that's not directly related to mortgage interest rates. Sometimes when the Federal Reserve raises that prime rate, mortgage interest rates actually go down a little bit. So what's happening with mortgage interest rates has more to do with what's going on in the overall economy. There's been some instability and uncertainty in our markets. Today, on a 30-year fix, we're sitting just under 6%.
Okay.
Now, this has actually come down a little bit.
Since this morning.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep. Interest rates 6-8 months ago, we actually did hit a high of about 7%. So we've come down a full point from our most recent highs. But historically, interest rates run, if you go back, a couple of decades, interest rates run in the 4s to 5. Interest rates should not be the driver for when you decide to buy a house. Once you're in, like we've talked about the rate modification, once you're into your home, this is the home of your dreams, we can rate modify somewhere down the road. 6-ish is going to be where we sit for a while. We're going to be in this boat for a while. This is kind of a longer cruise if you want to think about it that way.
Awesome.
It's not a short cruise, it's a long one.
Well, if you ever want to get good advice about home mortgages, call my friend Julie. Her information is at the bottom of this video, her link to her website. Another thing that I know Julie does is she works with people long-term. So if you're not sure if you're ready to buy a house quite yet, but you want to just talk to somebody with no pressure, talk to somebody about where you're at and if you're ready to buy and when's a good time to buy for you, give Julie a call. Apple Federal Credit Union. Thanks for having me, Julie. Thanks for
so
talking
much,
to me.
Sam. I appreciate the time.
Awesome. Okay.
Bye.